Good evening, Soul of Lion, episode number 235. Today, I welcome each and every one of you in this episode. Lion Dr. Raju Manwani, past international director from the Lions Club of Mumbai Soul. This program brought to you by Lions Club of Mumbai Soul, Leo Club of Mumbai Soul, Vishwa Sindhi Seva Sangam, and of course, Lion Nirmal Jain sir from Kanbel Resort Silvassa, Lion Alok Harlal ka Greetex from Mumbai, and Lion Kishore Parwani from Africa. Episode number 235. After that, we got the date from my friend, the international director from 97-99, Lion Salim Hussain from Lebanon. The one of the most dynamic, handsome, this young boy today is going to share a lot of things with you, and you can ask any question from Lion Salim Hussain. He will try to give you the reply to you on this number on the screen itself. You can type, you can WhatsApp, but don't miss this episode. If you're missing this episode, you can watch tonight on YouTube. Lion Raju Manwani. Like, share, subscribe, and ask any questions even after the show. Or pass the comments, because this will be encyclopedia of Lionism. You can see this young man, how he's doing the Lionism from last so many years. Much senior than me. I was in 2013-15, but he was in 97-99. And look at him still. What an enthusiasm, what a vibration, what a dedication towards the Lionism this gentleman has. We are going to talk to him about this. This program has been live telecast in 187 countries. And till today, our audience, 235 plus 1009 episode with Vishwa Sindhi Seva Sangam, we across more than 75 crores 40 lakhs 22,507 our viewership. Lions Club of Mumbai Soul with Vishwa Sindhi Seva Sangam also organizing a lot of interviews, the VSS shows. And we are having our 8th International Convention of VSSS on 9, 10, 11 January 2026 in Hotel Taj, Bhopal. Before I call my young dynamic Vice President Navdeep Nigam to introduce our today's chief guest, I would like to request my technical director, Mr. Pradeep, to kindly please show us one small video of 30 seconds of Taj, Bhopal. So before I call today's chief guest, I would like to invite the very talented and dynamic young Vice President of Lions Club of Mumbai Soul, Lion Navdeep Nigam, to please come on the screen to introduce our today's chief guest. Navdeep, over to you.
Thank you, Raju sir. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this fantastic episode once again for Soul of Lions. Moving on, accentuating to the magnificent March ensemble. We have with us today to start this particular fantastic ensemble a lion who has been an incredibly, amazingly inspiring personality while having conducted himself with the utmost lionistic distinction and fantastic diligence during his entire tenure in the lionistic fraternity. His Lionism journey began way back in 1988 as a member of the Beirut Lions Club. He went on to hold numerous positions within the association and was majorly successful in most of them. Some of the most prominent ones being the club president, the zone chairperson, the district governor, and many, many more. In addition, he is also the founder and chairman of the Lions Eye Center in Lebanon. Owed to such substantial contributions to Lionism, he was finally elected to serve as the International Director of Lions Clubs International at the association's 80th International Convention held in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, United States of America in June and July 1997. In addition, he's also the founder and chairman of various other organizations. Along with it, he has been the presenter at 3 international conventions and was chairman of the 23rd South Asia, Africa, and Middle East Forum. In recognition of his service to the association, he has received numerous awards from his club and the district. He has also received an LCIF Certificate of Appreciation, 3 Extension Awards, many District Governor Extension Awards, International Presidential Leadership Medals, and many, many, many more. Topping it all, he is also a recipient of the Ambassador of the Goodwill Award, which is the highest honor granted by the association to its members. Along with it, he's also a progressive Melvin Jones Fellow. In addition to his Lionistic activities, he's also an active member in numerous professional and community-based organizations. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an absolute privilege for me to call upon the highly decorated lion serving society with all his might, Lion Salim Musan, sir.
Thank you so much, Lion Navdeep, for your lovely introduction, and the greetings to my brother and my colleague, PID, Dr. Raju Manwani, and I appreciate very much his loyalty, his support, and his kind words, of course. And I would like this occasion also to thank all who did find the time also to join us to watch this episode.
Nadeep, I must tell you, he's such a great dedicated and a great fighter. Once you will start talking to him today after me, you'll be surprised that what kind of the power he has. And you'll be surprised that today maybe he's sitting in a white beard and all. Otherwise, he's younger to me and he's like a very dynamic and handsome. Look at him personally, because I start getting very jealous to him whenever in international convention we are meeting. Nobody look at him. Everyone is looking to Salim, and Salim. Anyhow, thanks a lot, Salim.
Not true.
Nadeep, you are also going to join me after some time because I wanted you to speak to Salim. You will be learning a lot from this gentleman. Completely. So, Salim, let's start telling our audience about Lion Salim Musan. What's your life journey? What exactly you are doing it business, about your family, and how you joined the Lionism? Let's start from here. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Raju. Actually, well, I have been lucky to have been member of a lovely family, lovely parents who raised us, me and my sisters and my brothers, to do good deeds all our life. They have been very good examples. Now, I was born in Lebanon in 18 July 1961. And it happens to be by destiny that everything I do it a bit early, at age-wise, I mean. So quite childhood till the year 1975. So I was 14 years old, and then the civil war started in Lebanon, unfortunately, and stayed up to 1990. So 15 years, very tough. This has been my age between 14 to 29.
That's right.
At this time, of course, school. I won't go too long. This is normal. But I discovered when I entered the university in 1978, I was only 17 years old, while all the other students have been at 18 or little above. I don't know what happened at school, but I have been jumping 1 year at one class until now. I don't know the reason.
Great.
So, but one accident happened to me in 1976, which marked my life. That I was only 15, but I was driving near home, parked the car, although I had no driver license and whatever. But at that time, because of the war situation, and I looked a little bit older, so people thought that I have a driver license or whatever. So I parked the car, and unfortunately, there was bombing in Lebanon, and the big bomb came behind the car like 2 meters. That accident was really tough because you are talking about shell bomb used by armies, and it came just 2 meters behind the car. I was lucky enough and I skipped it for a few seconds because when I opened the left door to get outside the car, the bomb fell and exploded. And so it took only like a few seconds. If the bomb came a few seconds later, then I would be outside, and there is no obstacles like the car to support or in order to protect my body. So that was something tough during my life. Few other things happened, but let's talk a little bit positive now. I started early my work. It was family business. My father established a medium-sized company, and I started to travel at a very early age. During that time, my first trip was to Italy, Germany, and Greece. And then in few months later, I went to China. Now, when I'm talking about China and the Far East, it means I have been like in 8 countries in one trip, very young age. At that time, China was tough to go. You need to go transit via Hong Kong. Today, you can go direct flights from almost everywhere to China for all over 10 or 15 international big airports. But I was very enthusiastic about doing my job and importing goods into Lebanon and also into Syria, because at that time Lebanon and Syria, the business was there. And so that gave me the, if you like, the international liking of traveling, of understanding cultures, and also living your life, because after all, this is business. This is how you make your money. So I've got a lot of experiences traveling all over the world, and I know that very well, that my minimum stay in hotels during every year for many years, it used to be like 120 nights in the hotel. So 1/3 of my life have been either in a hotel or a trade fair or doing business or traveling or on the airplane, etc., etc., etc. So I gained a lot, and fortunately, with Lions and holiday and family and so on, I have been into 99 countries so far during my life. Many of them extensive and many times. Of course, I've been lucky during this time to meet my wife Alia, that you know very well, and who is admired by many Lions around the world. And a good communicator, and she speaks 5 languages. As you know, I only speak 3. Sometimes when I joke, I say that me and my wife, we speak 8. Actually, it's not 8, but because we speak 5 and 3, then we added. And we were also blessed with 4 kids. So I have kids, and today I have 6 grandkids. And today I'm talking to you from Dubai. This is my daughter's home. So I go between Lebanon and etc. Now back to the real story about Lions. And this is a very interesting story. I'm sure that many Lions around the world, and even in my country, they don't know the real story. So I was invited by someone to, I will say the name of the club. The name is Beirut East End. Beirut is a big capital, and it has many clubs that start with Beirut. Actually, my club name is Beirut St. Gabriel. I'll come back to this. So I was introduced into Beirut East End first time. And that was in the end of 87, beginning of 88. I was like 27 years old. But I was very well established, married already, with 2 kids already. Now I have 4, of course, but then well established, if you like, socially, business-wise, family-wise. Now I have attended many meetings of this club for over a few months. And at one time, this is the funny part. At one time, the president of the club told me that next meeting, please do not come because we are discussing your membership.
Oh.
I said, no problem. And so he called me like 9 p.m. at home to tell me, listen, and he was hesitating to talk because, and then I knew that he has some bad news. I said, go ahead. I'm used to, good news, bad news all my life, no problem. Tell me, what is it? He said, I'm so sorry, but we made a vote in the club and you are not accepted. I said, oh, that's okay. No problem. I mean, I've been into the club 3-4 months. I have come to know you and many others. They are good people, good Lions, but that's okay. He said, no, I want to explain the reason. I said, okay, go ahead. What is the reason? He said, when you came in with your physique we thought you are way above 27, and you are well established businessman already, have been around the world for so many years, and so on. And we thought that you are definitely above 29. I said, yeah, but what is difference? I'm 27, 20. What is the story of 29? He said, we have a bylaw in our club. For some reason, it has been for so many years, we don't accept members below 29. It's not 30, it's not 25, it's not 40, it's 29. I don't know what means 29. Probably because the layoffs have been 18 to 28 at a certain time. The limit was 28. Maybe that was the reason. And he said, so I'm so sorry, I voted for you, but the majority was like 11 to 10. And he said, but still 10 voted for you to join despite our bylaws, because they want to break the bylaw in order to have you. But the others were not able to convince. That's it, no problem. Thank you so much. Keep in touch. Bye-bye. Half an hour later, I received a phone call from the member who invited me to join that club. And he said, listen, we made a vote. It's 10 for you, 11 against you. But I voted against you, and 6 more voted against you because we are 7 out of the 11. We want to make a new club, and we don't want you to come into this club because we want you to join us as a new group in the new club. So after all, it turned out that 17 out of 21 were in favor. However, the trick was 7 wanted me to join them as a chapter member. And then I made a smile because, it's very tricky way of doing it, but they did it. And then we worked out, and I chartered actually myself with some friends, Beirut St. Gabriel Lions Club. And I was charter president, and I'm still a member of the same club. Now, since I have been very active since the beginning locally, when I chartered the club in May '88,
Okay.
my first international, step going into what you know about me today, international, up to the title, a World Lion, given. By the way, a World Lion title is given to me by an Indian fellow lion who was following me all over the places, and he said, this is the title you should carry, a World Lion, and I love that, and I think I'm being recognized all over the places by this. So in May '88, chartered the club. 6 weeks later, I attended my very first international convention. That was at that time in Denver, Colorado, USA, 1988. And that was the first international convention. And up to now, I didn't miss, of course, any. I have attended all of them with Alia, sometimes with kids. Even in Miami, some people saw me in Milano because my kids, or in Honolulu because I was candidate. We'll come back to this later. But in Miami '89, my 2 kids were born already. The eldest ones, they were joining also. Now, back to Denver '88, my interest in lions was so deep that not only I attended the convention like many lions do, it was because when the trip finished, because, when you go with a group with your district, you do some sightseeing. So we went to Mexico, we went to Los Angeles way back, and then Las Vegas. And after that, we separated. So I bought tickets for me and my wife and went to the city of Oak Brook. Now, when we say Oak Brook, people think it's the headquarters. It's the city where the headquarters of Lions is. So we went to Oak Brook. I rented a car at Chicago Airport, and we went for 2 nights in Oak Brook area. First time after 6 weeks, I became, of becoming a Lion. And I went to the headquarters. At that time, you remember, there is nothing online. There was no websites. Right. There was nothing you can get, download, or whatever. So I had to buy 2 extra luggages, in which I have integrated and got all the manuals about club president manual, officers manual, district governor manual, zone chairman, etc., many Lion magazine to read. I got all of this heavyweight materials in order to learn. And when I came back, I started learning, and I was getting involved in every international convention. And then about traveling, my first area forum was indeed
Okay.
in your city. At
That's
that
right.
time,
Okay.
the name was Bombay, now Mumbai.
That's right.
So Bombay 93 was my very first forum, which was ISAMI Forum. At that time, it used to be Africa and Southwest Asia,
That's right.
the area
That's right.
name. So in brief, we can say now ISAMI Forum. And since then, I have attended all of them except the last two for some reason. And learning about travel, not only I went to 93 in Bombay, but in 94, here comes my story of getting up. And so after 6 years of being a lion, I became a district governor. Now, it's important to say that I was appointed district governor, which makes my position and my responsibility tougher. Because when you are elected, but there was some election, a problem in our district. And the international president at that time was Pino Grimaldi from Italy, 94, 95. And they had to fill the vacancy. And for long story, became short, since they met me in the conventions from 88 in Denver, 89 Miami, and 90 St. Louis, etc., up to 94. So the executive officers at the time found out that, okay, this gentleman is maybe young, but he is, etc. I was 33 at that time. And I was appointed district governor, which made my mission very interesting, of course, but very, very challenging. Young age, you are appointed, so they trusted you. So you have to be careful about how you complete your year. And it passed very, very, very successful. After becoming governor, my friend, I finished in 95. I chaired as the organizer chairman of the first, the second forum in Lebanon, because the first one was 1970 at the old, in 95. So organizing this forum was a hell of experience, very positive, to the point that all the ISAMI leadership at the time, they said, you and your team have brought this forum to a very high level. And fortunately, today we are seeing also, I'm not saying that it was because of me, but maybe I set up a challenge so that the next year, the following year, was in Marrakesh, Morocco, to the point that the chairman, PDG Nabil, Mohammed Nabil, and PID Muslim Ali Khan, who was the planning chairman, they invited me to go, I was going anyway, but to go before that and to help in the organization. That also marked my Lions career as organizer of big event and so on. Then in 97, as you rightly said, I was elected international director. That was 5th of July, 1997. I was 36 years old. And at that time also there was 3 candidates for 1 seat, by the way. So there was 1 candidate from Morocco, 1 candidate from South Africa, and I was elected. At that time, we had only 2 in our area, 2 international directors. Now, for information for the fellow Lions, when I served as my first year director, PID G. Ramaswamy, GR, was doing his 2nd year.
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
So Muslim Ali Khan went out from Bangladesh. I took his seat. And so GR was doing the 2nd year. I was the 1st. When I did my 2nd year,
there is
I was senior, he was junior. And then things happened, traveling too much, attending forums, over 125 forums so far. I think my story with numbers is like breaking records without really intending to do that. I mean, I've been just like I like to travel, but I've done lot of forums, and Lions Day with the UN like 12 to 15 times. And we have also above the not only the forums that we know about areas, but also we have the Mediterranean Conference, which I've done like 25 of them, and also all Arab Lions conferences, we have done like 10 of them. French-speaking conferences, a smaller one, but I've done few of them. So these have added to understanding of cultures, my friend, and getting more friends with many people, many Lions all over the world. And then, of course, I have been into several, like I was also appointed twice, by the way. appointed on the board twice. The first time with Jimmy Ross from Texas,
Correct.
2006-7, and the second time with President Sitzkrax, 2010 to
Yeah.
2011. And of course, GMP at the beginning and all these positions, that there are many. So that's my story, if you like, with
It's
the
a
time
fantastic
permitted.
telling. I must tell you that your journey is totally different. And our best friend from Johannesburg, Cliff Hawking, is saying hello to
Yes.
you, and he's listening to you and me. After a very long time, I'm seeing the Cliff also on the screen, because in Johannesburg we really enjoyed a lot, like, with each other. Thank you so much, Cliff, like, for joining us.
Yeah.
And I remember that, of course, you started your international convention from 1988, and I started from 89 from Miami when Rohit Mehta was elected as a vice president.
Yes.
And Salim, I'm seeing you like in mostly all the conventions and your dedications. I mean, heads up to you. And more than you, very honestly, the person behind you, because of that, you are success today, is Alia. I don't know Alia is there with you today or not in front of you. Otherwise, she is a lady to be admired, and the way she is communicating with each and every officers of the Alliance International. My salute to Alia. My salute to Alia. Okay, Salim, I had to talk to you a lot, but this my young person, my young vice president, Navdeep Nigam, he is in love with you and he wants to talk to you a lot. So I give few questions by this young man to talk to you, and then I'll get back to you again. Over to you.
Thank you, Raju sir. I think firstly, Salim sir, it's an absolute honor for me to host you today. I have heard a lot about you from Raju sir. We've had a lot of discussions with regards to your your very extremely straightforward nature and your progressive thoughts with regards to Lions International and how you've actually had your journey. It's very inspiring. I'll get on to the questions right away. One of the first questions that I had is basically with regards to Lions clubs and the leadership experience that you obviously hold, which is massive. Now, being an international director, everyone thinks that there are various kinds of job roles that an international director has, a lot of things that they need to cater to. But what I would like to ask you is, as a past director, when you got the opportunity finally in 1997 to become the international director, what were some of the key changes and initiatives that you focused upon during your term, if you would like to touch upon them, sir?
Yes, thank you for this. This is a very interesting question, of course, but very, very smart question, actually. The thing is that many of our colleagues, and I don't blame them, because that comes natural, that when they become international director, somebody becomes international director, he always or she refers that I represent Lebanon, I represent India, I represent Islamic area, and so on. Well, you don't represent with the representation. You are elected from. So the Constitution gives a number of directors that comes from every area. Yes, you can say you represent because you are elected from that area. That is fine. But we have to remember that you are elected at the International Convention. So you can fail, you can win, you can whatever. And once you become an international director, you become representative of the Lions of the world. Now, when we talk about something in Latin America, absolutely, the director that comes from Latin America knows more than I know. I may know things because I have traveled a lot, yes, but in comparison, each person or each director know more about his role or her role, where they come from, what the needs are, the assessment is made properly, and so on. And when we combined all this together, it's not easy, because what is good for Japan may not be workable, for example, in Argentina, and what is working in USA may not work in Scandinavia and or in other parts of the world. What can work in Lebanon may not work in India, and etc. So here, it's very interesting also to let our Lions who are with us today that the formation of the board also comes into composition of committees. So you are member of the international board, so you vote on everything. However, you are assigned by the international president and member of a certain committee. Now you become chairman, vice chairman, or member. Now, first-year director never become chairman or vice chairman. almost never, because it's a tradition that the second year director has more experience. And what happens is that you have half of the board continues or the second year, where those who, half of them who served already 2 years, when they go out, and then you have a new number coming in, they are not getting lost. Why? Because half of the board is going into the second year phase. So they roll up like this, and they experience joining experience. So the junior, we call them first year, and they learn from the second year. I was assigned to PR committee during my 2 years, actually. Now, what is my personal involvement was, as myself experience, my personal experience was that, like almost everybody, this is our duty to read the reports from the other committees, to get interacted. Sometimes we meet between committee and committee, other 2 committees together, sometimes 3 committees together, that they have a common interest for the association, and we exchange ideas. You know that when we ask somebody about Lions, what Lions do, we always say it's 2 pillars. They're built on 2 pillars: service, all right, and fellowship. Now, fellowship means membership. Without membership and without the sense of fellowship and being happy being part of this, there is no fellowship. So fellowship, I mean membership, etc., etc. And we do good work, like service. In '97, when I was director, the cellular started, the mobile phones. Then the internet became, available, and long before social media became what is now. But we started feeling that already. One of the things that I tried to introduce was that there should be 3 pillars of Lionism. We always continue with the service. This is basic, and fellowship. And the third one should be networking. Why? Because we have come to a time that if you want to attract new members, then the question is, what's in it for me? Now, we know that we never enter or become Lions because of material benefit. But where is the problem if I'm going to Germany, for example, to import, and by chance I meet somebody who is a Lion member, and I start networking, and probably we do business together. So I'm not going to Germany to search for Lions to make money. No, that's my job. That's my profession. That's my personal thing. And whenever I go, I have my Lion pin always when I'm in jacket. So I meet many people actually by chance, because they're the business people and so on, here and there. And now we started to realize, although its time has passed, that this subject or this topic is really becoming something hot. People want to know, want to meet with that, want to network. And network doesn't mean make money. Network means more friends, more Lions. Now you ask me, Salim, tomorrow you call me and you say, listen, I have an issue in Argentina. I need a lawyer. In 5 minutes, I will send you a name. Right? So that's networking. And networking also for services, when you know who is who, what is the profession, like say somebody is a director of a hospital in Japan, for example. What is the problem if I connect with this gentleman who is a fellow member Lions? I understand, and tell him, listen, do you have in our part of the world, if you have used machine, we can use them, for example.
Yeah.
And of course, the other thing that I have learned a lot, and I have been lucky traveling to many district conventions. We talked about forums, etc. But district conventions, usually you are invited to. And when I meet any consul, for example, from India to get my visa in Lebanon, and I sit with him or her, they are very much impressed about how many towns. I'm not talking about Bombay, Delhi, Calcutta. I'm talking about, the small towns like Tiruchirappalli, Mahabaleshwar, or, Nagpur, etc., Mysore, Mussoorie, all of these places, dozens of them, I have been there. And I used to be happy to go to these places because they, as a guest coming from different country, then you get there, you motivate them, and 2, 3 days, 4 days, then you leave. Your conscience is clear. You are happy. They are happy because they have learned something from you, and I have learned a lot of things from them. So I can go on and on with this subject about
Absolutely.
this is how it goes. And since we were 2 directors only from ISAMI at that time, and we are talking about more than 75 countries because Africa was with us, then you can imagine that only 2 directors, not past, current directors. Today we have 6. So I've got a lot of invitations to travel around.
Absolutely. I think a fantastic description in terms of how the international directorship actually went, and obviously the diversity of Lionism also mentioned very well. I think the next follow-up question that I have to what you already mentioned is with regards to some of the incorporations that Lions International has done in the recent times. You've been associated to the fraternity for quite a long time now. It's almost more than 3 decades, more than 4 decades, almost 4 decades. And you've seen Lionism evolve. You've seen the crux of how things actually happen. You had your international directorship just before the millennium struck, and then obviously post that the digitization came in, as you mentioned, the cellular age and all those things. Today we have everything at one click of the button, and everything's available that ways. You don't have to carry manuals and extra luggage anymore. So what I wanted to ask you is in these last 3.5, 4 decades that you've actually spent in Lionism in the fraternity, do you think that Lionism has evolved to a level where they have understood the concept of compartmentalizing or customizing things in accordance to certain constitutional areas? Why I asked that question is because you already mentioned that particular understanding that certain things apply to certain constitutional areas and they don't apply anywhere else. But for that to actually be made and taken into consideration and implemented is a whole new and a different thing. Do you think that's something which Lions International has been addressing in the last 3.5 decades that you've been a part of it?
So in one word, you are talking about the need about changes that happened all over the years, like that. If we can focus on the word change, that's a magic word actually in everything.
Absolutely.
In every business, in every association, in everything. Now, because of the technology and because of the rush, people are rushing these days, that they want, because there is a lot of competition. As you said, everything is available. So you cannot become a doctor like online, but you can be half doctor by just reading and going all over the articles and so on. And therefore, the need for change is a must in everything, including our association. We didn't see a lot of changes in our association. Okay, there are good things like when you talk about GMT, they are different. The words were different, but the topic remains the same. So there are good things that whatever is good, we keep going on with these good things. But what is no more accepted, we should just way of change. Now, what happens is, and I'm not criticizing because it happens in every level, that leadership, they always talk about we need to change. We need the change. But when they become in office, they don't change. I don't know. Maybe they are afraid to take the risk on what if I don't succeed? What if I fail to fulfill the commitment I made my campaign upon it? And you hear very nice words here and there and so on. And the leadership should recognize, starting from club level up to the international president and in between, including board members, district governors, which are the most important group in our association also, and the leadership position, the club president and so on, that today, if you are talking about university alumni, if you are talking about any group gathering, less people are attending, less people are interested to go over and over the same thing. Okay. And now if you go even to the international convention, when you have, let's say, an average of 20,000 Lions going, out of 20,000, I can assure you there are 10,000, they are the same. They go because they like to go. And that's okay. We're not saying that you don't go. But the things that, for example, let me give an example. in real estate, what is the secret magic word? Is location, location, location. There is no second. Of course, there is the price and so on. But PID Raju, who is in this field, he knows location comes first. You want to know where is it? What is the neighborhood? You want to know what is the environment there? Where is the school for the kids? And your work, where is it? And so on. In Lions, this word is not location, but it's value, value, value. Unless you present value for potential new members, they always ask you, okay, what do I get? And when they ask what do I get, they don't mean what do I get salary, because they know it's not salary, it's volunteering. But what's in it for me? That's the magic question again and again. And if we address this magic word, what is the value of me becoming a member in your association, then we will realize, you see, we're stuck in 1.4 million. And, many times during the year, we go up like 40,000, then we go when the payment for the second half of the year comes and go down and so on, etc., etc. And we are going circles. We are doing so much effort about increasing, but we are stuck at the same number. Also, one more thing about this. I'm very fanatic about quality membership.
Yeah.
Now, quality membership doesn't mean to be very rich. It doesn't mean that you have to be a professor in the university, in your education process. You don't have to be this. No. Quality means, good intention, good deeds, time available, and the will and determination, the engagement, that the commitment that you want to serve. And once you understand the value, what is the value of becoming a Lion? Is do good. When you do good, there is a study, scientific, that talk about this chemical in your body, which is serotonin, and serotonin is the positive part of this chemical. So when you do good job or good work, okay, and whoever receives this, he has the serotonin going up and the immune system of your body going up. And what is good in the win-win situation is the giver also feels the same. And this scientific study, and here is the key thing, that the one who is observing, not giving, not taking, not giving, not receiving, someone observing what is going on, the immune system on the body gets up, and also serotonin gets up. So once we understand the value of becoming a Lion, everything else is easy. Everything else comes with it. The satisfaction that you are doing good, it becomes like a circle and cycle. And then if we do good things, if you do good thing to one person, you are making good thing to one family. Imagine you are helping a blind person, or somebody have with the hearing problem, you are helping this young man or woman, then the family gets benefited, the neighborhood, the community, and so on. That's my thing about. And the third and last, if you want, because there are many, is understanding the culture. Understanding the culture. When I go to South America Forum, I understand that if I'm hungry at 6 p.m., I should eat an apple in my room, okay, before I go to dinner, because there they start, like in Lebanon. I'm not criticizing, I'm just saying that's give you a big area, Latin America. They start at 9 or 10 their dinner, and we respect that. We go to North America, they start dinner at 6. So if you are a leader, unless you understand here and there what to do, what not to do, and respect the local customs and traditions, that you can get nowhere.
Absolutely. I think very well put once again. So I think the need for change is something also very subjective in terms of how you actually want to execute it. Let's talk a little on the youth front. I've had the honor of being the Leo district chairperson for quite a few years, and there's a whole new brigade of Leos who's actually taken up the Leoism fraternity by storm in the last decade or so, and it has gone up exponentially. What is your perspective towards this Leo movement that has been growing quite exponentially in the last 10 years? And where do you see them going in the next, say, a decade? Especially asking this question because we have very fondly actually, very affirmatively actually noticed this particular fact that a lot of great Leos are not converting into lions. And that's one of my major reasons why I asked this particular question, because we've been seeing that particular trend also go up. And now, as the Leo movement has grown, we should have expected more conversions, but that's something which is not happening. So, your perspective about Leoism, firstly, and then obviously this answer to this question.
Good. So we come back to the end of my talk about the 3-4 decades, talking about value. That word. Now, the Leos. Yeah, unfortunately, you are right that we have Leos, but we don't find many of them continuing. First of all, we have to change the idea with among young members, and sometimes adult members also, they do the mistake by telling the youth that, oh, you will have fun, etc., etc., but they are talking about this part. And when you are older, we get married, and when you go into your business, you want to continue with fun, but different way, and you think that that part of your life ended here, and I should not continue with this association, whatever. But once the youth understand that they can, by joining, they can discover their purpose, and they can also discover their passion about why volunteering is helping and will definitely help them in the future, social, professional, anything, family. Then, because when you do this volunteering thing, first of all, it's very much needed today when you go into big universities. If you have in your application a certain hours of community service or volunteering, and also when you go to business, because that part of your personal, and emotional part that you serve and you do community service, they like it also when you go into the working sphere in your future. So when you discover your purpose and passion by doing a good job in volunteering, it may help you also in your career, because when you do things like medical, missions, or environmental, or just social, activities, any type of activities, this young person may discover a kind of talent that he or she didn't know they have it. So they are like attracted to environment for some reason, and then this gives them a click in their mind. The second thing is we have to explain to them, not only explain and invite them, but also apply it. That this life skills, you know that you have been there and you understand that teamwork is part of it, leadership is part of it, the communication is part of it, the problem solving is part of it. And once you are in this, you will never forget that this association or this club, Leo Club, but Lions International, has given you this opportunity, which you can use, and you can make your better community, a better city, better nation, and of course, better world. And what else I can say about this? Lately, I was in a very, very beautiful social activity, big one actually. One family, one parent of a child told me, how can I pay you back? Because you brought, with your help, you brought hearing back to my son by the the implant that they put, the cochlear implant they call it, which is an expensive actually operation. And I said to him, you want to thank me and you want to do something for me? He said yes. I said, okay, whenever you are starting from this minute, walking in the corridor of this hospital, or going tomorrow home, or going in the street, or you work, and somebody needs help, just help. And by doing this, you already paid me back. And if I do this to you, and you this to A, and A do it to B and C and D, the world will be at a better place with us. So this cycle of giving, this a few philosophical things that I have addressed for the youth, if they understand it and they apply it by observation of us, the Lions clubs, the sponsoring and other friends, I'm sure that comes one day they will become, and bear something with me, despite the technology and all of that, more young today are interested in volunteering, by the way, in the world. So there's different areas, but the average in the world, do we have more interest by the youth in doing something good for someone else? It gives them this satisfaction, and we have to really work on this one.
Absolutely, I think that's very beautifully put. Once again, very fantastically addressed the point of the youth. Also, let's talk about something very important to the association. Let's talk a little about LCIF. You yourself are a Progressive Melvin Jones Fellow. I would like you to elaborate a little on how do you see the importance of contributing towards LCIF, and why LCIF is potently one of the biggest and the most sought after organization when it comes to a foundation. If you would like to tell our viewers about the same.
You live in Mumbai, right?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
Okay, so I have to come back to your beautiful city, which I started with already. I want to talk about the forum, and also PID Raju will be happy to hear that. At that very first forum in Mumbai, November 93, we were in the middle of the Site First program. So that time it was not called Site First 1, it was just Site First. But when we did the Site First 2, the second one, we call it Site First 2. So let's say that the first one. And I remember Judge Brian Stevenson, past president from Canada, Austin Jennings, also from USA, they were there. They're like chairman and co-chairman or vice chairman. And they were motivating us, the attendees at this forum, to do something. And this is where I did my first $5,000 pledge. Of course, I didn't have the money with me, but I sent the bank check to LCIF later. And so since then, I of course, and I've been 5 years in Lions. I know what LCIF is. That's why when they addressed the audience, I was one of the first to raise my hand, and I did the pledge, and so on. And of course, being a district governor, 1 year later, in 1994, and you mentioned about Lions Eye Center. This is a government hospital. It's called the Lebanon Dahr al-Bashi. And we have equipped this hospital with big center. We call this Lions Eye Center. And thanks to the foundation, I was able, as a district governor at that time, although we have started the project sometime later because you need to buy the equipment and all that. And since then, I believed in the foundation. I believe in the foundation because, first of all, if you believe in the foundation, you pay. You don't pay to get back. I paid 5,000 in 93, and I got 400,000 the year later as governor, not for me, but for my country, for my district. And I'm ready to do every time. If I do 5,000, get like whatever. But I didn't do it because I even in 93, I didn't know I will become governor anyway in 94, because I just mentioned that I was appointed by the president and so on. Therefore, the foundation, I give an example. Also, I like to give real stories. Lately, when we had the Beirut port explosion in 4th of August 2020, at that time, in the middle of also COVID work, and everybody heard about this explosion. Immediately, LCIF, I spoke with LCIF, and they have opened an account which is called Beirut Disaster. And I received many calls from Lions. The first one was really from Norway. And by chance, I was in Dubai visiting my family here, and the explosion happened. So I received first call from council chairman from Norway, and they wanted to, etc. And then I made emails to my friends. I started receiving, and then we received $1 million. $1 million, 900,000 directed through the LCIF to this special account, and 100,000 sent to the district account to do things that were related to this or other matters. So therefore, the foundation, and why the foundation? Because the Financial Times have been rating always LCIF as the most transparent and the most valuable dollar value to pay. What you get for your dollar, how much value you get. We have been number one all over the years. And also something that the Lions don't know is that the staff of LCF, they don't they don't get their salaries from the money paid. So therefore, I'm supporter of LCF, and I definitely support the motivating all the Lions to do the job and donate to LCF.
Fantastic.
Right.
I think totally encapsulated. Yes, Raj sir, go on.
Salim, I wanted to ask you one thing. 17 years age and 27 years age, and in a young age, always you cross the 1 class and all. 97, 99 international director, then twice as a board appointee. When I'll be able to see my brother as executive officers at the Lions Club International?
Yeah, it's a good question. The last few minutes. Well, you know that I tried twice actually. I mean, I tried over the years, by being candidate for since 2007 actually. Even today, I have my endorsement, and for some reasons, it didn't work. I ran twice in Honolulu 2015 and Milan 2019, and maybe the thing, if I want to share a secret with you, my personal power came by associating with Lions, all over the world. And I didn't do it because I wanted their vote. I needed their vote. Of course, today I need their vote, and I'm not denying that I need everybody. But the way our elections at the high level, they don't have to be really, to become an officer, you don't have really to be very popular in the world. See that, because the vote at the convention must come from these Lions. But there is a way, and you know how it goes. We don't want to go into public too much in this, not because I'm afraid to say anything, but I think with the short time we cannot explain to the audience what was the problem and so on. But I'm very keen. I appreciate your support anyway. You have been always with me. You have been open for that, and many Lions have done. Yes, I know it's from your heart. I'm your heart. You are also in my heart. So let's see what will happen.
Is Alia with you, Salim?
She's in Lebanon. We
Alright.
are trying to divide our time to support our kids. And the last advice I want to give, I forgot for the youth. I have a few seconds. That to our friend when asked me about the youth is balance your life. Balance your life. You have your education, you have your profession, you have your health, you have your family, and so on. And then Lions also. So you balance your life. That's my best advice to everybody, young or older. But when you get older, you may prioritize different things.
Would you like to share your hobbies also? That what hobbies you have than Lionism?
Actually, Lionism, it's not. Yeah, it's a good hobby, by the way. It's a nice hobby being a lion. Actually, I read a lot. If you can say reading or traveling, this is my hobby. I like to. People say, but how come that you resist so much? You're not tired traveling? I don't know. My love of travel starts from packing my luggage, from taking taxi or somebody take me to the airport, at the lounge, no lounge, economy, business class, whatever. It doesn't matter. Check in the hotel. I like traveling, meet people, and so on. I didn't have the time, Raju, to have any hobby. Civil war in Lebanon, from 14 to 29. This is the age where you do things, for example, certain sport, certain something. But I'm happy. I'm satisfied as long as I can do good things to people I know and I don't know people. The best part is you do good for people you don't know. That's a good thing. And lastly, I would like to tell you why is the passion I have is my answer is very clear. I am happy that I am needed. See, needed, it doesn't mean somebody needs something from me, has to go lower or higher. No, it's not like that. But feeling needed means that I'm someone who is alive and can do things. Because if I sleep tonight and I say, that's it, I can eat and I can live like this normal, no, I don't want this. I want to be feeling myself that I am needed for a good cause, for a noble cause, whatever it is, whatever it happened. And that's give me the satisfaction. That's why I still go on and on.
Salim, I hope everything is okay. Whatever is going on between the Israel and we heard a lot about the Lebanon and all. I hope everything is safe and sound and you are happy over there. No problem.
Yeah, much better, much better. Yeah. Fortunately, much better now.
God bless you, Salim. Never believe that 60 minutes pass just like that only. And
Yeah.
we'd like to keep talking to you. So now please pass a word of thanks, and we must thank to Salim that giving
Thank you
completely
so
1 hour
much.
to us and to the World Lions. And he is a World Lion. Believe me, no one I have seen in any international convention than popular than Salim. Navdeep.
Thank you for this opportunity, Raju. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, I would like to formally now thank from the entire Soul of Lions team, Salim sir, for coming on the show. The amount of knowledge you've imparted to all of us, and with real life examples, I think that's the best way to explain any concept to any individual. And you've done that to all our viewers today. So we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for coming here today on the show and taking time out and giving us a pathway also in terms of how to conduct ourselves as Lions and making it big. Thank you so much once again, sir.
And
Thank
finally,
you.
Salim, that even Lion Noor from the Pakistan is also wishing you all the best. You are our past governor. I mean, the district governor, coming district governor. Thank you
Yes.
so much.
Thank you.
Noor Saab, thank
Thank
you
you,
so much.
everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Salim. Very nice
Thank
talking
you.
to you today. Thank you, my dear friend.
Thank you so much.
It was
Thank you.
past international director Lion Salim Musan from Lebanon. I'll be able to see you tomorrow evening 8 o'clock. But don't miss this today's Salim episode. Please watch it, like it, share it, subscribe it. Lion Raju Manwani. And watch Salim and pass the comments and send a lot of messages to him. And still, if you have any kind of the questions, kindly please send me. I'll see that Salim should reply to you for that also. Thank you so much, Salim. So tomorrow evening, 8 o'clock, the episode number 1009 of the VSS show and our international convention part 10. Till that, please take care of yourself. Shubh Ratri, good night and Jai Hind.